Evening all. Does that mean we can all go home now?
Why is that saying I've got that one?
This is going to be very hard for many of you to believe, but I am struggling. Emotional, maybe. I'm certainly struggling to say anything, but bear with us, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this evening in a fairly successful way without me collapsing in a quivering heap for the third time this last 10 days. But I think first things first is to thank everybody for coming here tonight. As we get sort of as good a turnout in numerical terms tomorrow, I think we'll all be very, very happy. It's a very important time for us. I think that what I'd like to do first of all is to publicly thank, this is a nightmare, actually no, first of all I should warn you that this is being recorded and taped and all sorts of things, so if I say anything I shouldn't say, somebody remind me there's no swearing, please. And I guess that goes for you guys as well, so if you want to call me anything, call me outside. And that includes you, King, alright? Are you wearing green? He met me for lunch today, he was wearing green. Can you imagine what that could have done to anybody? I checked his wallet. They were green, yeah. Notes. The speaker's notes. There's an awful lot of things going on. But first of all, again, thank everybody for coming. But what I want to say right out front is, although I was the person that went to Cambridge and although I was the person that done the deal with the man, I wasn't alone on it. There were a number of people who had worked with me. Some of those I can name, and some of those we'll see. Sean, Steve, Ralph, Tony. Coxie, you here, Coxie? Aye, Paul Cox, thank you. Who else have we got? Remind me. Alan, Pete, Wessex Fantasy. Well, you know what? All of us guys, I guess we're pretty big and in your face. The group of people that really do deserve all our thanks is those of you and people who aren't here tonight, who, when I went out on the internet on whatever day, was it Wednesday? Wednesday the 28th, wasn't it? And said that the goalposts had been upped and moved a few yards, and asked if anybody wanted part of what we were trying to do. It's okay, I'm only the chairman, you don't have to...
There's another answer there somewhere.
So, is this one of the privileges? There's a lot of good people who responded to my appeal for help that night, and I can't name them all. In due course, those who want to be named will be named. Those who don't, we're not going to name. I mean, that's obvious. But I went to bed about 2:30 that Thursday morning, like £9,500, Richard. Not personally, obviously, but I wish I was. But £9,500 had been sort of pledged, and it wasn't long into Thursday by the time I got up to Cambridge for a meeting that you'll be amused to know started hour and 15 minutes after the book time. I found the monies. It was a traffic, yeah. Frozen points. The money was there, and that to me is the big thing. I mean, we're all pretty up and in your face and known, but it's the contributions that came in from all over the world, not just Weymouth. Literally, I tell you not a lie, all over the world that night. When I went to bed at 2 o'clock, I tell you openly with tears, £9,500 came in. That's gone up. will tell you how it went and, you know, how it's been spent, because it has been spent.
Was it in euros?
Actually it was, but don't tell anyone. But that was fantastic, and that really made me personally, because at the time I was trying to do this, me personally, so proud to be a Weymouth supporter, like you guys, like those people that aren't with us tonight that chipped in. It really goes to show for me what... Idris, your band.
Don't worry, tell him I'm your brother-in-law.
Any more
You want to turn on? Pull the plug out.
That's right.
Thank you, man. Hello, Vicky, all right. Don't you say hello to me, then? She don't talk to me anymore. So, no, seriously, fantastic. And to the, you know, publicly, without naming those people, it did make me feel very, very humble, but it made me feel very, very proud to be part of what is our football club, Weymouth Football Club. So thank you very, very much. So obviously the first thing, having gotten through all the excitement of that day, we had to form a board. Now, I have to tell you, as you all have read, I hope, you've got any batteries or something? What I have to tell you, of course, is it is an interim board. We will have an AGM. But don't ask me for a date, because there's a bit of work to be done, shall we say, before we can have a date set for that. But we will have an AGM, and at that AGM, the shareholders will obviously vote the board, okay? And then when the board is voted, they'll vote the chairman. So, temporarily, we've put a board together. We've got representatives from the fantasy, from the businessmen, from the Supporters Association and the Bournemouth Dogs Trust and God knows what else, but everybody's involved. We'll go into the AGM, we'll put a proper board together from the AGM. That AGM, the directors will vote the chairman. For the time being, these reprobates have voted me chairman, so I'm the one who's got the big back pocket. Now then, I think you know most of them, but for those of you, just to make sure, Mark you all know. Tony McDonald, there. Hello. Ralph. Steve.
Stand up.
Stand up. Steve. Right, Steve. Ralph will stand up, but you won't see him any better. Mark. Excuse his dress. Tony, get up. And hiding over there in the corner by the gents, Alan Pepperell. Alan, come up here a minute so people can see you. Some of us you'll know, but some of us you won't. But you'll read about them in the programmes in the next couple of games. Alan used to play for Weymouth Reserves. None of you are old enough to remember that. I do, sadly. And he and I first met properly at Chingford, a very famous occasion that we won't go into. And we've kept in touch since, and he's been working behind the scenes with us. Tony, Prospect, Chapelay, some godforsaken pub football team many years ago. Again, watching Weymouth all these years, brought them in, business skills. Steve, Ralph, been doing a lot of work around the office. Tony, working with him. Lots of people helping them as well. So there's a range of business skills. And there's me, well, I'm just a pretty face amongst it. On top of that, people like Sean, Pete, Adi, Dave, where's Dave? He'll be hiding somewhere. Dave, Roy Charles, who's not with us tonight, who's just had a hip operation. They'll be part of the board for the time being, giving their skills and representing the various groups. So that's that part of it. It's very quiet. I've got some notes for you. I'll go through them. When I've done that, you can ask questions. But any questions I don't want to answer, I'll pass to one of these people. Okay? I think we need to be very honest about the finances of the club. We are not debt-free. Not debt-free at all. There's probably in the region of 40,000 quid outstanding on the back of Weymouth Football Club last week. This week that figure's gone down. As I said, there's been money contributed from various sources. There's been a lot of work done by these guys in the office. That figure has gone down, but we still have debts to service. We do still need the support of everybody here and everybody who's not here, through the gates especially, and we've got a few other ideas that we'll bring to you. Obviously one of those ideas is the shares. I mean, I've got a piece of paper that says I owe 706,500 shares. I've never had so much toilet paper in my house in my life. If you guys would like to share some of those, the shares are there to be sold. The money doesn't go to me, of course it doesn't go to me. The money goes to my financial director.
And to pay the repairs?
To pay for the repairs to Steve's crutches. The money goes to my financial director here. So if anybody still has any money left, wants to buy any shares, stop me and buy 300 or something, okay? So that, I mean, that's nice and quick. We're still looking for money. If you've got any burning hole in your pocket, I'll take it off you. I've got a series of notes here. The reserve team, Jake. Is he here, Jake? No? He's hiding. The reserve team will continue next year in the DPL. It had resigned, or the membership had been resigned. I've rescinded that. We will still run a reserve team next year. However, we need a secretary for that reserve team because unfortunately Hillary has already made moves to move nearer home. So if anybody fancies taking on the role of a secretary for a reserve team, we need one. It's an easy job being secretary. Look, you can see that. Yeah, you end up... Yeah, it's all right then. I think Brendan will back me up, I hope, if he wasn't sort of hiding behind his lager over there. The players... I spoke personally to the players on Saturday before the game, which is probably why we didn't win, I guess, but they all seem quite content with what we've told them and what we're trying to do, what our immediate plans are to keep Weymouth Football Club moving forward. And I don't mean just staying afloat. We've plans that hopefully will see we move forward. And the players seem to be quite behind us. Fair comment, Bren? Thank you. They're behind us. And if they're not, well, we'll kick them up and they'll still be behind us a bit better, won't they? It's going to be a very serious few meetings with this one, as I tell you. Very serious. We will ensure that all the players are paid regularly. We will ensure that the players are paid the money they are owed, because they are owed money. They are owed money despite everything we've heard in the past, and we will ensure that that they will get paid what they're owed in due course, and they're quite content with that. Yeah, I mean the wages element of that is fairly small. It's mostly the bonuses that the lads haven't received that we're going to have to sort out. On a commercial side, Glenn, where's Glenn? Ah. I can't see that far with these glasses, right? Glenn Taylor has put together some proposals for us, which we're going to look at tonight, and we're going to be moving forward on the commercial side, trying to raise the revenues, of course. Within an hour or so of doing this deal on Thursday, we had a match sponsor for tomorrow, so I'm hoping that's an auspicious sign. Are you doing your bingo numbers over there, Mrs. Nichols? Yes. I'll autograph it later. So we are very much looking for sponsorship between now and the end of season. We've got some sponsors lined up. but we do need, again, if anybody wants to sponsor part of it, Glenn there, or Sean, or Ralph, or Tony, or Mark, or Ian, or anybody that you can see of hanging around this side of the room will be quite happy to sort something out with you. I've got some other things here. I mean, I think because we want some honesty around, I think some questions have been asked regarding the bank accounts and that. So the bank accounts that we had in Lloyd's are presently frozen. They're frozen until the situation is resolved between George and myself. Basically, we have opened another account in HSBC. I've been running the football club account out of my own bank account for the last few days, but Dave Parsons has got all the receipts and I've got the change in my pocket, and we'll go off to the Bahamas in a minute. But we have got a new account after tomorrow, yeah. I've got a big bag to carry that home now. HSBC, we've got a new account in there for the time being. We don't quite know how things are going to pan out. There's a lot of legal issues over the bank accounts. So if anyone's wondering why we're now with HSBC, it's because that's what Ralph decided was his favourite bank. Oh, Ralph and Tony were...
We went to that West and they didn't have a business advisor, so we had to go to the HSBC.
But she was better looking, wasn't she? Hey, oh. Swiftly moving forward. Going to Australia, this is, you know. Say hello to our friends in Australia.
G'day.
G'day, boss. Okay. We've got to pull everybody on board, that's obvious. You'll all have read the saga of the Wessex fantasy football and the bounce check. That was not unknown. That was not unknown, in fairness to Ian especially, because he took some jib over the last few weeks. But the Wessex fantasy football generally, that was not done without due consideration and consultation. And as you've all read, I hope, or you all know, they came up with that money last Saturday at Swindon. So well done, thank you. Moving forward, I've got absolutely no doubts Ian and the rest of the guys, and everyone that contributes to us will continue to do so. I'll let Ian do the bit in due course about, you know, anybody who wants to join that, they'd be very, very welcome. Every penny that the Wessex Fantasy collects, contributes, goes to the right place. I guess it goes into the dressing room to the players' wages, so it is important, it's a great help. We've got the other area, raising funds, is for I call them the businessmen's club, which is probably a bit of an insult to good businessmen, but you know, Sean, Coxie, the guy with the pink shirt on my left here. Socks as well. And the pants. Moving swiftly on from that. I was closing my eyes, it was frightening. We, obviously they're contributing, and I can actually say that I do know that money has come in from that and gone into the bank account over the last few days. Every penny of that, again, very helpful, going towards the wages. Hopefully that will continue, and if anybody wants to join that, well, don't talk the pork, she's going to the Bahamas for 2 weeks, but Sean's about if you want your hair dyed pink to match it at the same time. So, what else have I got written down here? Season tickets, okay. Oh, sorry, no, Supporters Association. Obviously, over the last year or so, it might be fair to say the Supporters Association have had a rough old ride. Sometimes it's been quite embarrassing to watch. We intend to work very, very closely with the Supporters Association. Aidy's given us a few bits and pieces this evening, and in a while he's going to have this and he's going to talk to you with some of the ideas. If you're not a member of the Supporters Association, and I know a lot of people have their doubts, they are going to play a very, very vital part in the way we see Weymouth Football Club Limited progressing. please give AD his break in a minute, have a listen to him, his sales pitch. Sales pitch, good enough? Yeah. I mean, would you trust that man? But I wouldn't, no, you're right. I've only got three other things written down actually. The first one's fairly simple. I need a program editor because it takes about 10 hours of my time for a home game and I'm struggling to fit everything in. So if anybody out there fancies having a bash at being program editor, as well as reserve secretary and cleaning the floors and sweeping the floors and cleaning the toilets. You know.
Those 2 new jobs that day.
Yeah. But so the program editor, reserve team secretary, guys, ladies, boys and girls, we do need some assistance with our, as we go forward. 2 other things I've got written down. I think the first thing that I'll pick up is the trust. Now, I've made it publicly known, and I'm sure, hopefully, you've heard it on the radio. What? Yeah, good man. I've made it clear on the radio if you've heard that awful bit on Solent the other day, and if you haven't, you can listen tomorrow, because there's some radio station tomorrow morning in Dorchester at 9 o'clock. I'm on live, and hopefully I won't be shaking quite as much as I am now. And in the papers, I know it's in the papers, I certainly spoke to Adam long in fact before the deal was done. At this moment in time, I'm a very, very proud man because technically I guess I own Weymouth Football Club. But on the 9th of April, I'm going to become the shortest lived owner in the history of Weymouth Football Club because I'm going to give it away. What we're going to do, what I'm going to do, we're going to set up a trust and we're going to sign the football club and the remaining shares into a trust. Now, there's a lot of detail in that and it's all being sorted out for me, okay? But on Easter Monday, the 9th of April, everything that is Weymouth Football Club will be signed into a community trust, the Weymouth Football Club Community Trust, moving forward. That will not only be my shares, if you like, from the deal that I struck with George, or what's left of those, and it's a considerable number. It will be shares that Kohler has got coming to him, as I'm sure we've all read. He's putting his in, and a couple of the people that donated the money come to see me today, and they're putting theirs in as well. So that community trust will then own, is that the right word? Own Weymouth Football Club and take it forward. I mean, God willing, long after we're all, when him and his grandchildren and my grandchildren are coming to watch the club and have the pleasure that hopefully we've all had over the years, we can secure the future. And I think it's fair to say that if we can strike a deal and or put a good deal together with Morgan Sindel, etc., if we do end up getting any money out of that, that will go into the trust. It's not going to go in my back pocket. See, I have changed, right? It ain't going into my back pocket. Is he awake? Yeah, only just. It's going to go into the trust, and therefore it's there for the football club for the future. The ground, the infrastructure goes into the club. If we get a new ground, it goes into the trust. It seems to me the right way to go forward. It's going to make sure the club is safeguarded in the best possible way. It will stop one-man ownership from here into infinity, hopefully. And I think that's got to be the best way for us. Hopefully it'll work. I'm not illegal, other people are. I got a list of bits and pieces, but for me to try and explain it to you, the bottom line is I will sign it over on the 9th of April, and we'll become a Weymouth FC Community Trust. So that's the plan, which will make me, as I say, the shortest owner in the history of the football club. So that'll be a nice honour to have. You've come back then. Yeah, it's nice to see you. There's only one other thing that I want to say, because it's caused... There's another one on his knees to me. What's going on here? You don't have to. Arise, Finbar. We're being videoed, by the way. with every, and I mean, I hope it's good news. I hope it's good news that the football club is now a local community club, you know, moving forward. Yeah, before you say it, I live in London. Al lives sort of in London. I think he's got a shack on Heathrow Airport somewhere. He said to me to meet him in Feltham this morning. I did very well because I got there, but I had to ring him up to make sure I was in the right place. It's been that sort of a week. We drove in here, you know I come by train. We drove in here and he says, where shall I park? And we parked and it said chairman. Jesus, that was funny. It got towed away. Hopefully what we've done is for the benefit of the club. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. That really is it, apart from one thing. And to answer a question, okay? But there's always a bad side, in a way. The season tickets, the £99 season tickets, okay? Everybody who has applied, you got batteries in there. Everyone that's applied,
use, have they? Come on.
this is true. Everyone that has applied for a £99 season ticket prior to today, we will honour. We will honour those pledges. However, we are asking you to bear with us because we are withdrawing that offer because financially it is not sound business for this football club. We will be putting season tickets on sale. They will be early bird offers, etc., etc. But we ask you, if you haven't applied and you feel, shall we say, slightly disappointed by what I've just said, bear with us. It is not a financially signed offer. We're never going to make 1,000. We're never ever going to make 1,000. And we have to make sure that Weymouth Football Club can pay its way over the next, however many years. So we have made a decision at a board meeting this evening to stop that offer now. Okay, so that's the one bit of bad news, I think. Yeah? Anybody, have I missed anything, guys? So, two things I want to do. I want to let Adi just say a few words with his ideas for the Supporters Association. You're happy at that end?
I'm happy to ask me lots of probing questions, really. Okay,
and after that I want you to ask him lots of very difficult questions. So, my memory man there reminds me. There's been a lot in the, well, especially the forum and, I guess maybe Adam and that and Nigel in the press about the players. I can tell you that 3 of our players, 4 probably, but 3 for sure, have been subjected to illegal approaches by Kettering. Personal approaches. I'm really, really pleased to say that only one of them has gone, and you've all heard that Ben Joyce has gone. Reedy and Craig Duff have both turned down offers and will be staying with Weymouth Football Club. Brendan, here's your chance to tell me I'm wrong. But I think it's great that they have turned that down. I think I'm not very happy that the approaches have been made, and I have made official representation to the various bodies by form of complaint. And I know it's been received because he's been ringing me all day. So. But the phone's turned off. Right, so there is plenty of, well, there's time to ask questions. I'm sorry that I've taken up rather a lot of your time, but as I said, thank you so much for coming. It makes me feel quite overawed, and I'm shaking like a leaf, and Thomas, you won't believe that, but it's true, I'm shaking like a leaf here. Adi, come and shake here instead of me, mate. Have a word. When Adi's finished, let's have any questions you want to ask.
Yes, it works. Well, good evening to you all. For those that don't know, my name's Adrian McDonald, Chair of the Supporters Association. I recognise quite a few of you, but not all of you. Currently we have 5 others on our board as well, making up 6, most of them whom are here. Colin isn't with us tonight. Ralph here is on our board, so is Dave. Dave's around somewhere over there. Barry you would have met as you came in. Hopefully he's given you all a membership form. Everybody got one? No? Right.
He's asleep somewhere.
Supporters Association, as you may or may not know, came into being in March 2010, following the merger of the former Terras Trust and the former Supporters Clubs. I'll start with the blunt facts. It's been no secret that up until now it hasn't been very successful. As chair, I'll take most of the responsibility for that on the chin, but what I will say is that we've had our backs to the wall for an awful lot of the time. It certainly hasn't been all our fault. I'll leave that there, I think, and we'll try and concentrate on some positives. What we need to do now is effectively relaunch the association, and now is a great time to do that. We've taken up a position on the new board along with these guys. We've taken an associate directorship. Currently under the interim board, that's me sitting in that position, but that may well change as we go on and the board develops, and so does the association. The role we've talked about at a meeting of our association last night, and then we've just been into a club board meeting as well. The role that we want to take forward from now with this support association is very much community focused. I don't know what you think, but I think we need to pick this football club up now and take it back to the community, genuinely take it back into the community, and that's what we're committed to doing, working alongside these guys. I've got a few initiatives that I'll just highlight quickly to you now, though we've put quite a lot of work into draft proposals that we hope are going to... Sorry?
Those draft proposals.
These draft proposals, yeah.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah, that we hope over the coming weeks and months we can take forward and bring into reality. We've got quite well on with the proposal for a Terras community card, which will basically be a loyalty card, if you like. We think that one's quite good. We think it's very good. That's been, I'm going to stick my neck out now and say it's been accepted by the board in principle. It was accepted by the previous board with, shall I say, 1 or 2
non-community benefits.
Yeah, modifications, shall we say. We've now remodified that, so that's good. We did some work a while ago with Nick Bennett on an under-18s initiative, which was very, very good. We need to pick that one back up again. We've decided we need to concentrate quite a lot on promoting both the football club and Weymouth as a whole to visiting teams. It's quite astounding, really. In my couple of years in this position, I haven't had a single email from another football club or supporters club, support association trying to promote themselves as we go to visit them. So we're committed to doing that. We've got ideas for community season tickets, which we'll be talking to the club about in due course. We're going to be asking local schools to design us a new logo, completely independent of the one we've got now. That'll be a competition going out to local schools, and then we're hoping that the winning school can come up to the club here and design and put a mural onto the main wall as you walk up through the car park there towards the club, centering on the football club, the supporters association, and the whole community thing. We're looking to organise a mini kind of inter-schools football competition. We're hoping it'll be an annual thing between the local secondary schools, and that will culminate in a final that we'll do here at the ground. And we'll do it as a genuine sort of mini cup final for them, so we'll pick the kids up on coaches, bring them here, there'll be bands and pre-match build-ups and things like that. Fill the ground with school kids. What we need to do all these things, we've got the ideas. I'm a bit sort of sketchy now, but on another piece of paper we've got, it's all very well put together. We need some help. We need some help from you guys. People who can come on and join our board and help us with just some admin work, promotional stuff. Barry, where are we, Barry? There he is down by the door. Barry's been pushing the membership hard this evening. I hope he's got you. We genuinely are involved. Fans can be involved. We do need you to come on board and help us. So please, if you can tonight, catch Barry, and we'll be happy to sign you up. In the meantime, that's about it from me. Other than to say we have got a game tomorrow. We'd love to see as many of you here as possible. Brendan's around somewhere. And I'd just like to wish Brendan, Matt and all the boys all the very best for tomorrow.
Our next guest speaker,
Nigel.
as you all know, he's very unaccustomed to being in the public eye. But as he's putting me up tonight, I'm going to let him have the mic.
Right, I just want to quickly go on about Wessex Fantasy Football. As you know, for the last 2 seasons we've raised nearly 20 grand towards the player budget. I was going to make a decision to actually close it down because I won't lie, it was put in place because of our last chairman. There's no lie about that at all, that's why it was done. As you all know, I took an awful lot on it, but it's in the past. I decided not to kill it though, because I rather fancy the idea of what about if the Wessex Fantasy, maybe Paul and Sean's Businessman's Club, could raise enough money between us to actually cover most of the player budget for next season. Why not?
I like you.
I know. Because to be honest, I've raised 20 grand with the help of one certain contributor who I won't name, but he is in here today, who has helped us immensely with it. And without his help, we would never have got to 20 grand. He knows who he is, and I'm not going to say who he is. He has this tremendous job. But so is everybody else. Everybody else that has contributed to the Wessex. You've kept the club alive. We've tried our hardest with it, but I've done it without a lot of effort. Now, if we really put some effort into it, I think we could probably double at least what we're bringing in now. One thing I would want to do, people keep asking me, can we carry on contributing through the close season? Well, yeah, definitely, because last season, by the end of through the close season, by the time we got to the beginning of the season, we had nearly 800 quid already in the coffers to start us going. It doesn't sound a lot, but it makes a difference. So I'm not going to close it, I'm going to keep it going. The game will still be there as well, for those that want to play it, but I want to see whether we can't perhaps get somewhere close to covering as much as possible.
Well, momentarily. Kingo, come here a minute, matey. Hey, do as your chairman says. Come here. Yeah, it'll be the first and only time. This guy, I've got to say this because this guy is the quietest guy I've ever come across.
Don't you believe
And
it?
he wears green to meet me in a cafe. What do you think of that? That's what I thought.
Floor's open then.
But you've got to say something. Rally the troops, Brendan.
Well, I've been saying my bit in the paper all sort of week and last week. We've had a real positive. The last 2 weeks in training has been really positive. You can tell the boys are really up for it now. Because they feel there's a bit of a structure in place, and I think that's what's needed. That's what everybody's wanted, and this is what everybody's here for tonight. That can only help us. When people know they're going to get paid on time, there's no pressure on them. They come into training, they've worked really hard this week and last week. Alright, the result didn't go our way last week, but we've generally got people now that are here for the club, for the town, and it means a lot of people. It means a lot of things to a lot of people. So we know that it starts out on the pitch, and that's why everybody's here, contributes, everything there goes to our budget, and that helps us. So it's a new era. We've all been talking about it, and it starts tomorrow out there now. Boys are all up for it. Like Nigel was saying, the boys have rejected to go elsewhere. They can feel the future's here, with the right people in place. The likes of Reedy, who's a journeyman, he's been a lot of places and has played for Georgia at a lot of clubs. He wants to stay here now. He feels that this is right, and he feels that this is like his home now. And I think he's been one of our best players this season, and I think now we can get more out of him as well. The likes of Craig Duff and people like that, yeah, it's a lure of playing conference football. However, they want to stay here. They've enjoyed their season here, and they can see their future here as well.
Brendan, you've got to cover goalkeeper if Jordan doesn't get picked.
Yeah, Big Merv.
That'll be 9 on the Richter scale.
That was completely unrehearsed because I hadn't warned him I was going to do that. But I think now maybe he's learned he needs to watch what he wears when he comes to meet me. There's just one other thing I want to say. It is right, you all green. There is just one other thing I want to say, and then what we think we'll do is we'll just take maybe a 10-15 minute break, which will allow you to get a drink, and it will allow me to sort of get my pre-match meal, or post-half-time meal or something. One day I'll tell you a story about a very famous Weymouth player that reacted the same way. But there's a lot of people around this club who have gone unmentioned over the last few years, and that's not a knock at what George. Jake, you can come in, you know, son. It's all right. You're allowed in.
No, it's not.
All right, now you know. There's a lot of people that have gone unnoticed over the last period of time that I want to personally, and on behalf of Weymouth Football Club, thank, and that's the many, many volunteers that do various jobs for us, whether it be the two lads who I went out and spoke to on the pitch today, whether it be Vic, who does food, or Calder, who makes a pretty decent chilli when he puts his mind to it. Dave works around the club, and there's many, many others, and as far, you know, there's a lot of people that make it possible for Weymouth Football Club to play a game of football. And I think the last thing that I would like to say before we take a quick break is thank you very, very much to each and every one of the volunteers that we've got, and that includes us, because we're volunteers as well. Every single one. Wait, well, how much was I paying you? He ain't changed at all. He was a pretty awful fullback as well, I've got to tell you. It's the volunteers that have helped the club in whatever capacity. Very, very grateful to each and every one of them. So publicly, a thank you, and don't think you're getting away with it because you're going back for more. So cheers, thank you very much. We'll take a break for about a quarter of an hour, and then we'll take your questions, and that means your questions too.
Can I just mention Pete Pavey?
Well, all right, you can mention Pete Pavey. Is he here?
No, he's not. I'm in bed, his wife's brother's jacket.
If you give us his address, we can all get a chest rub. Actually, do you know what? That's a very... I mean, Pete is a volunteer, same as everyone else, and he has our thanks too. But there's a very serious point there, because Pete has said that at the end of this season, he's finishing on his PA role. He thinks it's time to have a little bit more time to himself. Well, if he's getting his chest rubbed, I guess I can understand. So we will need not only a programme editor and a reserve team secretary, but we'll need a mic man. There's a couple of people who've made themselves known to me, but, you know, if you can make yourselves known to me if you fancy, or any one of us, we welcome you. So with that, a thank you again to our volunteers, and I do think they need a round, they deserve a round of applause. break now to let you get a drink, etc. And about 15 minutes and we'll take questions. So think about it. Cheers. I'm being reminded, because at my age I seem to forget, especially after the last couple of weeks, but when I was going through the people to thank... Hang on. 1 minute, people. I forgot the cleaner. When I was going through the people to thank, I did in fact miss out one, and I'm really, really sorry. And that's Fred Dunford, who has done so much work on the lottery. So Fred and there's one thing that's just come to my attention, which I think deserves a mention here tonight before we take it. I mean, we will take any questions, but many of you will know Gary and Lynn Piper from Heathrow, and I've just been told that unfortunately Lynn passed away this week, so every cloud and all the rest of it. They were great friends of mine, and I'm sure they're great friends of many of yours, and they were very, very good Weymouth supporters. And I'm sure Gary still will be, but unfortunately I've just been told that Lynn passed away this week after an illness. So a very sad thing, but for those of you that know or know Lynn, okay. Mark, we have a flag out half past. We'll have a minute's silence or something before we can. Okay. So, and I'm sure what we should do now then is we should take any questions that anybody's got. Now it's going to be a wee bit difficult. If you want to ask a question, the answer is no. But if anybody else wants to ask a question, please do.
Full-time or part-time next season?
Can I tell you what I told my board, or told the board this evening? Would that be okay? No, I told the board my viewpoint, but it hasn't been discussed. It was just passed through as a comment, okay? I believe, personally, that we should look at, possibly looking at the exit trials, looking for some of the young lads that are coming out of league football, and looking at having a squad, half of which may be the full-time young lads. Okay? They would train in the mornings and they would go out and do bits and pieces in the afternoon. Whatever. You know, even if it was sweeping the stadium, do you know what I mean? I believe that might be a way forward. But this is my opinion. This is no one else's opinion. This is my opinion. And as a board, we'll be talking to the manager and we'll be looking at what may or may not happen. So what I've given you is my answer, not Weymouth Football Club's answer. Okay? Ian.
Yeah, we've had a volunteer already for the reserve secretary, Tim Lambach. Who's Tim?
Tim Lindback, reserve team secretary next year. Well done, Tim. Well done, Jake. I tell you what, a skirt will not suit Tim, but he's got long legs. So, okay, away you go.
Yeah, let's know what plans you have any at the moment for reintegrating the Weymouth FC youth section.
Weymouth FC youth section.
Yeah.
That would be the boys' side of it?
Yeah, well, and the girls, but yeah.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I can tell you that we have agreed to allow Weymouth ladies to play their last 3 home games on Bob Lucas. And those dates will be... And, you know, we're talking to Way Sports with a view of what may or may not happen there. As far as the youth setup is concerned,
yeah,
Ian, you probably would need to use this.
No,
he has got a big mouth, but let him use it.
Yeah, we'll be having a meeting with the youth, and I'll be coordinating with the youth for the board, and we definitely want Weymouth youth back involved with the football club. But in addition to Weymouth youth, we would like all of the other youth football teams in the area to also be involved, because a lot of them do come down and support us on Saturday afternoon. So we're looking for all youth teams, but obviously Weymouth Youth will be closest here. Okay?
Thank you.
Easy peasy, really, isn't it, when you can give the mic to someone else? Delegation. Okay. Come on, there must be other questions.
Nigel.
Apart from this one. Go on.
Saw Nigel from First Group today about a bus from the King statue back to the stadium.
Yeah, we've... Nigel's not here, is he?
He's coming in as soon as he can.
Okay, well, obviously his bus is late then. Yeah, you're right. It's like that in London, mate. You wait half an hour and you get 4 buses at once. The deal, yeah, like, my wife might be listening, because, you know, my wife, she's... Oh, no, sorry, we won't go. Seriously, Nigel did approach me as well, and he's going to provide me with some information, and we do need to gauge feeling. I mean, you know, there always was that bread van that ran from the town out here, wasn't it?
Yes.
You know, and we do need to gauge whether there's any interest in that, and then we do need to talk to them to see if that is something we can do. But Nigel has mentioned it, so again, it's early doors for us all. Obviously, it's only a week since you know, since we took over, but that is sort of in the old memory bank to try and do something about and find out about it. Okay?
And if you want an emergency PA, I'm about.
Thank you. I know. I said I'd already had people mention it, so I haven't forgotten. Oh, hello. Is that 2 fingers or a hand up, Tim? Because both of them are usual with you, mate.
I just think we need to, as you seem to be still in negotiation with George about various things, we need to be mindful of that and not do anything or say anything that might inflame the situation and make your life more difficult.
He can't make our life more difficult.
Do you know what?
He can't make our life more difficult.
I think, Tim, you make a fairish point, mate, but so does Ralph.
We're on that one.
The thing is, to be honest, the areas that are still under negotiation, if that's the correct word, are areas where the legal side of matters favours us, or to be honest, if I may, if my colleagues will allow me, favours me because it's my name on the paper, all right? And we're in negotiation over things like shares, over things like monies that have been left unpaid, and these things we are in a position of going from. I do accept what you say, totally, and obviously we're not in negotiation over his attitude towards our players, because I've just gone in with all guns blazing on that, because that's me. But you have a point, but the bottom line is there's no negotiation. For what it's worth, the club is gone, it's ours. I mean, at the moment it's mine on paper, although it's ours, and there is no way that will ever change now, apart from putting it into the trust. But I appreciate what you're saying. And I also appreciate your offer to be reserve team secretary. Thank you. Well, come on then. I'll ask a question myself. Hang on. Danny, I thought downstairs you promised me you wouldn't ask me anything difficult.
No, I told you I was going to ask a thing. No. Downstairs, I had a great pleasure of, like greeting everyone and being elated. I was brought to my notice I'll have nothing more to moan about, which is true.
Danny, you'll always have something to moan about. I've known you too long.
The only thing I look upon this tonight is that I say good riddance to the past and welcome to the future.
Yeah.
Future.
that you moaning, Danny? Because that's easy doors, mate.
The future has a very honourable chairman and board, and also the past offered a promotion to these supporters, which you are going to honour. Now, I would ask some of these supporters, and they might moan at me now, don't worry, because I don't worry. But the fact is, I don't know how many people have taken up this offer, but I'm sure most of these people in this room, to think of the revenue for next season. Now, surely, if an offer was made to have 1,000 people paying £99 to form this thing we did, they should think of themselves and ask their heart, well, hang on a moment, will I pay a bit extra? Because I don't know how many people you've got at the moment that's come forward with this, but don't forget the target was 1,000. If these people that have got the heart of their club may decide, okay, let's forget about it ourselves and go forward with the club and help extra revenue come in. Now, people might moan at me about this, but if I was one of those people, I would personally turn around and say, well, that target hasn't been reached, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm willing to go along with the new proposals made by the board.
Okay, well, the target was 1,000, right?
Yeah.
In the board meeting this evening, we had a look at the numbers. The numbers are 80.
Oh, 80.
80.
Well, that's not so bad.
Which is, it's not so bad, but it's one of the reasons we felt that it was probably better to look to it differently. But I mean, of course, if anybody who has taken advantage, and I will be honest and say I've had emails from 2 people who have said that they would do this, but if anyone's taken advantage of the £99 offer, and if they feel that they would like to put money towards the club to make it, there's plenty of share application forms, and there's plenty of shares, like I've said. So, and there are other ways. I mean, there's the Wessex, there's the lottery, there's just put it in my bag. I'm sorry, put it in my hand. No, I mean seriously, Danny. Anybody that wants to give any money to Weymouth Football Club, whether it be obviously because of the season ticket offer, which, to be fair, hasn't worked, whether it was the right idea or not, I'm not going to say. They can do so.
No, I was just going to say, the only reason it didn't work is half the people want to give money to George Roll.
No.
Well, do you know what? I'm being recorded and videoed out here, but I can say that I agree with my esteemed colleague at the back. I'm sure that's true.
Actually, you're wrong, because it was more than half.
Nigel. But, I mean, the bottom line is, guys and girls, we can't afford that. I mean, it was never good business sense to keep Weymouth Football Club going on £99 a season. I mean, we all know that. If it was, well, hell.
I'm sure.
Michael, Chelsea couldn't keep going on 99 quid, could they, mate? Nah. Not even with Abramovich's pockets, eh?
I'm sure on the offer.
Okay, you finished yet?
No. On the offer.
I do like you, really.
On the offer, though, the first 100. The club was going to sort of give them that offer anyway. Well, it's not 100, so come on, let's all pay our full whack.
Well, I mean, anybody who wants to pay their full whack who's paid 99, you'll not be turned away, of course you
No.
But if you don't, we'll honour it.
Somebody asked me on a away trip, well, what should they do about the £99? Should they do it or not? Obviously, I had other reasons why I would say no, but...
I said no too.
Yeah, I actually said to him that the best way to support the club was to pay the full season ticket, because that's where it's going to go when it goes into next season. So
I mean, you're right, and hand on heart, I can tell you that the people you see around here and the others who have put the money in to bring the club home, and I do see it as bringing it home. You know, I see Weymouth as my home, although I may live sort of in South East London. I still see Weymouth as my home. We brought the club home, but we buy season tickets. you know, and no, I didn't get it. No, I missed the 99 quid deal for reasons that we may have already touched upon. So the bottom line is, Danny, you make a fair point from a personal point of view, but we will not go to those 80 people who have already subscribed and say, okay, this is the deal. But if anybody wants to come forward, there's share application forms here. So that's the answer to that. Thank you for the point.
Well, you reassured me now, because I was worried about a few accuracy, so I mean 80, not so bad. There again, I only have second thoughts.
Oh no. Make it easy, mate. You've made my life hell for enough years.
One thing that's glaring obvious, Nigel, that the club hasn't been run properly for a while now. There's issues obviously with money, which best not touched on. Are we in any problems, or will there be any problems with any official bodies such as the FA, etc., that are being brought to the surface at this moment in time?
Oh boy. How many people have got to get away to get a bus? No, I'm staying over. As far as the Southern League are concerned, we have, I believe, I had an email today as I came down here, so I've only read it on my phone, but I think it's 5 outstanding issues, one of which is an outstanding bill, 4 of which are fines for non-receipt of paperwork. Of the 4, I mean the bill is for footballs, that has to be paid, obviously, although they were ordered on the 1st, 2nd of January after the last lot were slashed down here, but that has to be paid. The 4 other bills with the Southern League are fines for non-receipt of certain paperwork, and I'm actually meeting Jason Mills, the secretary in Worcester, to try and overcome that, because, you know. As far as the Dorset County Football Association are concerned, we are being threatened with disaffiliation for non-completion of accounts and non-submission of minute books. They are working with us, both Pete Saxby and myself are working with Sue Huff from the DCFA, and although the threat has been made there, we have managed to negotiate a way through that, and we will be providing minutes of board meetings shortly, because Lee Champion at the FA is providing them to us. Now, if that sounds a bit strange, I don't apologise, okay? But that's the fact. As far as the accounts are concerned, Dave Parsons is burning the candles in his house to try and get it sorted. There are innumerable problems with them, and again, the Dorset FA have given us now an extension on the time to deal with it. As far as the Football Association are concerned, they are happy enough with what we've put in place, and there are no threats on us at the moment. So, yes, there are problems out there, but we have managed in the last week, using people that are known to these people, to these officials, to not alleviate, because they ain't going to go away. They are never going to go away. But we have managed to gain time to get our act together to make up for the poor administration of the past. So nothing that we don't think we can handle, if I'm honest with you, at this time. Fair enough? You believe me? No. It's true, actually, for once.
Can we get the gold liner back on for next season?
It's funny you should say gold liner, because, I mean, Alan's had to go now. He has a mother who, his mum is pretty poorly, and he's got a carer looking after her, so he had to go back to London. But he and I were talking about the gold liner on the way down here. I mean, not least of which, Mike Trevilco was his cousin, and we're both of us very good friends with Dudley and Alec Jackson, Dudley Barry, who both had parts of it. And we would like, we decided we would like to look at that, but I'm not sure it's something we can start, you know, just like that. But I do think it's very well worth us considering something of that nature going forward. I'm not quite sure how or what at the moment, because we've not had the time to really think about it, but I think the basic idea is good. And I think that we, as a board of people, as a group of people, will give that that idea.
Yes.
You know, to use the gold liner, it's a fair comment to use the term, but something of that nature. Or, go on, own up, whose phone's that? Yeah, there's always one. Get out there on the pitch, it's got to be ready for tomorrow. I think that we already have the lottery, which Fred, as I said, Fred's doing a grand job. It's whether we can beef up the lottery, or whether we should be adding to, you know, or adding another. So it's all considered, because, you know, there's only so much money to go round. That's the bottom line, isn't it? You know, there's only so much money to go round, so we have to sort of decide which way we're going to. Did you just give her a bunch of flowers in my meeting?
This one here, yes.
I saw ya. Do you know what? I've done some coaching in Germany once, and they gave me a bunch of orchids. Oh, I've never been so embarrassed in my life. Are you embarrassed? Excellent, lovely, jubbly. I think it's something that we have to look at, but we have to strike a balance between how we do it. Okay, I think that's a fair comment on that one. Oh look, she won't even look this way now.
Is that it? Is there anything urgent on the stadium needed doing?
I'm sorry, would you like to say that again? No, I'm only having you on. Anything urgent on the stadium? Well, cola. Stadium. Stadium cola.
There's a number of issues. Yeah, there are a number of issues which we're all aware of. Floodlights. There are a number of issues we're all aware of: floodlights, grass cutting, brambles, this and the other. There is a health and safety check due before the beginning of next season. We're well aware of things that were brought to our attention. Some of them are substantial, but we have got leeways to, as long as we provide a safe area for the spectators, we've got leeways to overcome it. General help though, we do require anyone to come during the week, give their time to help the boys that are already there now, but there's painting to do, cleaning toilets, painting, fixing this, fixing that. So if anybody wants to come during the week, the cafe's always open, feel free to give the lads that are already here, like I said, sweeping up anything. So it doesn't answer your question. Yes, there are things to do at the stadium, but we'll have to deal with that when it comes up. But again, getting back, if anybody wants to come during the week, please feel free.
It will be free because we ain't paying anyone.
Anybody got any other questions? Please. Any hecklers? Anyone at the back want to heckle?
No, you don't count. Put your hand out. Nor you, Greeno.
There is one
thing. If Greeno wears Portland socks tomorrow, we ignore him. Mate, I'll give you the old socks.
There is one thing that has come to mind. If we win tomorrow, hope we do, this board of directors will resign because we're going to leave on a high. It's never been so successful. So this will be it. After tomorrow, we're all going to leave.
There's a challenge, Kinga. There's a challenge, mate. Okay, so there you go. Yes, there is work to be done around. I mean, the floodlights is a pretty serious area, to be fair. But we have got people, knowledgeable people, and yeah, that did rather hurt. I haven't won the jackpot, but I've broken my fingers. We've got knowledgeable people and capable people in the, business spheres of life who will be looking at that situation for us. So that's not something for you and me to volunteer to do. But as Mark says, you can see it out there. It needs a lick of paint. All right. Personally, I'd like to see these old badges ripped up off the floor and all, but I may not get thanked for that. But there's lots of bits and pieces need doing. So if anyone has got a bit of spare time, Ralph, Tony, and there's a few other people around the club during the day, Dave's about, please come and make yourself known. So that's the best I can say, really.
Nigel, we've had a lot of problems in the past with security here at the club. As you know, various things have gone wrong. Could you explain the situation at the moment regarding the security of the club? How are people getting in?
Dickie, that is extremely unfair.
No, I don't think so. No.
I think that anything that's worth anything is no longer left on the premises. Right down to the fact that I gave Rex 10 footballs tonight and he has them in his bedroom at home. Right? We won't go into details, Rex, I did promise.
So there's nothing worth knocking off?
There's not worth knocking off, okay? Yeah, there is obvious... There's always... The thing is, Dickie, and the bottom line is it don't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you do, you know, what you are. If there's some tow rag out there that wants to burn down your caravan or break your windows or slash your footballs, they're going to do it. But we have changed locks, we have this done, we have done that. You know what I mean? We're doing everything we can to secure the Bob Lucas Stadium, as we are to secure the future of Weymouth Football Club. And all we can do is our best. But I mean, other than that, you know, somebody can have a sleeping bag and sleep by the door. What else? There's no worth nicking. Not really. Right. My wallet's in my pocket. Well, I'm taking it home.
Perhaps if that's put in the paper, you know, there's nothing down here worth pinching. You know, perhaps it'll all come to an end.
Well, I sincerely hope that. Yeah, I sincerely hope that we've had our fair share of problems in that and that we don't get any recurrences. But of course, you can't guarantee that, mate. We can only make it difficult for people, and we are making it as difficult as we can for those people that feel it's funny to kick us when we're... let's just say we're making it as hard as we can for them.
Good. My second question is, what's the situation with the inland revenue now, as regarding...
Hang on. I'll tell you what I will tell you. I'll tell you what I will tell you. Absolutely nothing. I cannot answer that question.
We have no useful contacts within the HMRC. Right, you've actually the worst possible question to ask.
Well, that's what meetings are all about, aren't they?
Silver lining. We finally got a grip on what the HMRC believe we owe them, and I say believe. They believe that we owe them £19,785.08.
That's my wages.
That's right.
For about 3 days.
However, we were able to finally get through to HMRC today because obviously until they can have proof that we have the ownership of the company, they won't deal with us. And it's taken until today to be able to get through them. We have a very similar situation with West Dorset District Council. Clearly they don't read the Echo because they've been even more unhelpful. So we've got to bear in mind the fact the amount of VAT actually paid to HMRC in the last 2 years is the big round zero. No VAT has actually ever been paid to them. Because our accounts are so overdue, they have made an estimation in the tax year for March 2011, they believe we probably owe them £10 tax. Now, we all know that there isn't going to be any tax like that, it'll actually go down to 1,000. There's various penalties that have been put on, and there are various assumptions on payroll for the current tax year that are on there too. These figures will take it down, and we should be back into 5 digits rather than 6 digits. We made progress today. We've made an arrangement to pay with them for this week to pay them 2,000, which 1,000's gone across and 1,000's yet to go across, so that'll probably go on Monday.
You didn't tell him.
No, I was meant to put the 1,000 across.
Yeah, don't have any dealings with it whatsoever, can we? So there we go. Yeah, right.
So I've gone through my shadow account in the
We've got a way around that.
You just can't get the staff.
The important thing was the threat was a winding up notice. I would state it was a threat. There was nothing further than that as long as we were prepared to deal with it. We had it deferred till the end of next week where we can get the P32s in for the wages for the current tax year. Everything prior to that was actually up to date. Funny what pressure the FA can have on a chairman. So Pete's actually going to be working hard that one next week so we can get that one in. We hope to try and sort out in the next few weeks another £2,000 to go to them. So we'll what's effectively we'd have paid off what we should have paid in surcharges and penalties for it. So then we've got to go back and try and negotiate the remainder of it when we've got accounts to go in. So it could have been bad. It's not pretty, but it's workable. Okay.
And I ought to say, you know, and I know Michael will bear me out here, when it comes to dealings with HMRC, ain't nothing to do with me. I pass it on to somebody else. For obvious, most of you know I work for them. So, and indeed, this is my wages for yesterday and today. So, Michael's pension as well, mate. Eh? So, but you know, like Ralph says, it's been a minefield. I couldn't believe it, and I work for them. But we have got a workable solution. We are working on it, and with the help of Pete Saxby, who's doing the wages records, and Ralph, who's chasing his tail around goodness knows how many offices, nothing changes. You know, we start at Edinburgh and we finish in Worthing, and we sort of go to 5 in between. But the one he didn't come to was in Euston Tower, London. So I'm still squeaky clean, if you can believe that.
So was it worth £20,000? You know, all this.
Absolutely. Look. Of course it's worth it.
Biddy. Tell them what the last 3 weeks has been like. Come on. Tell them how many phone calls I've had. Will they follow me? Will they do it?
No swearing.
Being recorded.
No, I mean it's been an interesting 3 or 4 weeks since George made me an offer. George offered to sell me the club out in the sponsors' lounge at half-time during the Banbury game, and I mean, I hasten to add he shook hands on the deal with Sean just before he offered me the club. But hey, business is business. Obviously, Sean's pink shirt put him off. But no, I mean seriously, it's been an interesting 3 weeks of my life, if I'm honest. And yeah, there were times I doubted myself, and there were times I doubted whether the you guys and the people of Weymouth would support it. But I think it's fair to say that at 2 o'clock on Thursday morning, I realised that people would support it. And when I look around you tonight, and notwithstanding the great work that these people around me have done, and you know, I haven't done this alone, I've had help, lots of help. And when I look around me tonight, no, you're right, I was wrong. Weymouth Football Club.
I told you it would work.
Brilliant, superb. And we'll get it right, and we'll take it forward.
We will.
And we'll clear the debris that's hanging around us. So the word actually's got another word, but we'll call it debris because it's on video over there and going to Australia, and they might not know what I mean. We'll clear all this up, and we'll get the club running properly for us all. Not just for you guys, or for me, or for them, you know, but for my kids, for your grandchildren, for my grandchildren. We've got to make sure we get it right this time, because, you know, I guess it's probably a bit sort of dramatic, but it might well be the last chance we all get of making sure our football club is run properly, correctly, and to the benefit of every one of us and every one of them people, whether they come and support us or not, because they'll come back, right? Some of you will have seen what I've said, and you know, build it, and they will come. I believe that. We all know we can get bodies into this ground. I ain't the only one that's seen 1,600, 1,700 in here. between us, we spread the word, we'll get them back. And wouldn't it be lovely tomorrow to have a decent crowd in here?
Right.
You know? Let's bring the people back. Let's work together. Kinger, I suppose Mickey as well. That's if we don't wear them awful socks. Yeah, 2 socks, that was what I meant. We've all got our part to do. They've got their part to do on the park. We've got our part to do off the park. You guys have got your part. Weymouth Football Club is bigger than them. It's bigger than the players. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than me. It's even bigger than Sharpie. Yeah, honestly, Sharpie. Weymouth Football Club is a hell of a size to all of us. And let's advertise it. Let's all do our bit out there. Let's bring those people in that have stayed away, whatever their excuse. And I've heard every excuse under the sun over the last umpteen years. I've used most of them myself, and I've still come, but then I'm stupid. But there's been so many excuses. Let's knock those excuses on the head. Let's get our people back into Weymouth Football Club, and let's make Weymouth Football Club a town club, a community club, and a big club again.
Yeah.
We'll do it together. Come on, man.
It's the last 3 weeks, your passion since 1958, in the memory of Bill Barry. If you can take this club forward, nobody else can do better.
Well, I thank you, but I won't take it forward alone. I will take it forward for the memory of a lot of good people, and we will go forward together. Thank you. Forward together, take it back, sorry. Thank you very much. We'll see you here tomorrow, yeah? Up at Terras.